Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli waj'alni waziran min ahli Haruna akhi ushdud bihi azri wa shiddu fi amri kay nusabbihaka kaseera wa nazkuraka kaseera innaka kunta bina basira. Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khairin faqir. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All right, inshallah, we will continue reading from the Fruits of Belief, which is the 11th ray. There we go, the 11th ray, page 232. And we stopped at the end of the paragraph. We discussed about what unconditional love in the Quranic terms means, rather than what the civilization talks about, always in a kind of mode, versus we need to be taught in all kind of situations. It could be something we don't like, could be harsh, or could be in a soft way as well, but for our faults we need to be notified of that, and that those seemingly difficulties and hardships are part of what mercy is for us. To out of love, they're coming for us to teach us, hey, don't do this will only hurt you, but need to learn and get back on the right way. So don't bother with disturbing things that are not worth it. So those kind of situations do happen in our lives time to time. Sicknesses happen, and they're meant to teach us who the health provider is. So there's always a message and calling, but human beings are in need of what that unconditional love is, basically both in two ways, in a encouragement mode and also with somewhat slap or punishment a little bit. Warning. Okay.
Danger is a part of unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
When we are warning somebody, when somebody is harming himself, we are sure that somebody is harming himself.
Yeah.
To warn this person is as a result of loving him.
Yeah.
If I don't love somebody, if he harms himself, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If he harms himself, even with the warning, then yeah.
Warning included, yeah, it must be.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So the Quran keeps mentioning a lot about how fearful the hell is. Correct?
Yeah, you don't want to be in there.
Of course, if we don't understand that, as if the Quran is really threatening us, frightening us. No, he's warning. If you choose this way,
Mm-hmm.
I will end up in this position myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, although the language of the Quran needs to be carefully read, the language of the Quran says God punishes you. But we know that God mentions only what he creates. For example, if I cut my finger, what God creates? Bleeds.
Blood, yeah.
That is the result. So if I deny my reality and contradict myself and become egoistic and want the order of the universe works for my favor,
according to
as I want,
yeah,
by desire. God says no. I will create a result that you will be really harmed and you cannot really stand it.
Whoa.
That is warning. Not necessarily that God has said, if you do this, I will give you a slap. No, if you do this, you will hurt yourself. You will find yourself in hell. So we have to understand that Azab is the creation side of the matter, not as a response, as a punishment, extra punishment. For example, in this society, what happens in this world actually, if someone, let's say, harms somebody's property, what they do, they punish.
That's extra.
Yeah, because they took him and put him in prison. That's punishment. Oh, paradise is not this. Paradise, you will find yourself deprived of God's mercy.
Hell.
What was the verse? Yeah, hell. What was the verse? Come on. بل هم محرومون. Yeah. Not this one. That's another verse. Come on, Bismillah. It's a very beautiful. Yeah. Inshallah. We have to remember this. I think.
Inshallah. So.
Yeah, this one. كلا إنهم عن ربهم يومئذ لمحجوبون. Definitely, these people, the fujjar, will find themselves mahjub.
Barred or something.
Barred, yes, barred from their Lord. That is hell. كلا إنهم عن ربهم لمحجوبون إنه ثم إنهم لصالوا الجحيم. They will find themselves in a jahim, and burning desire. Can you not feel that if someone does something that he knows he shouldn't do it, but he doesn't, what happens?
Harming himself.
He finds himself in a torture, psychological torture himself. Why did I do that? Yeah. So in this world, people may try to ignore it. But some honest people, what do? They go and confess their mistake. And they say, okay, in the life of the Prophet Muhammad, we see the narrations of many events that the companions who did something wrong came to the Prophet and said, please give me my punishment in this world. Why? They reduced I don't know whether you read, some philosophers wrote their confessions. Have you read any book? There are many confessions actually, written by different people. Yeah. Books, they like, I did this, it was very bad. I did this, not bad. In Christianity, what do? It's very interesting. Yeah. They go and confess their sins to priest. Quran says, confess your sin to Allah. Who's this man? Declare your sin to Allah. Said, please forgive me. It was a mistake. But because they cannot communicate with Allah, God, directly, what do? They use means. That is the essence of Christianity. That's why they need Jesus to be a mediator between God and me. I cannot really go and ask for God's mercy. I have to ask Jesus. Jesus will present it to God. Got it? So this is the wrong side of Christian theology. So they have to go to the priest to confess. It means people still go and confess their mistakes. They say, for example, go there. I was very dishonest to my wife last week. I'm really finding myself in the torture, etc. Please ask God to forgive me, etc. So you go and do it. God is present everywhere. Why do you bother about this God? But it is in human nature that we confess.
Yeah.
For example, if I do something, a mistake, we say, why did I do it? Why did I do it? Huh? Look to myself.
Yeah. But you have to
Confession.
introspect yourself to do that.
Confession.
Yeah.
So these people also will find themselves, the people around the prophet used to come and punish me because they ask for, they ask for forgiveness from Allah. It is something to do with the hereafter. But the punishment here needs to be applied in order to keep the peace and order
in society.
In the society. So we do it as a punishment. So there is a punishment on a penal law in Islam, but applied to this world. But as far as the akhirah is concerned, directly related to your spiritual situation, it means your situation of your ruh. So your ruh will be treated accordingly. It means the result will be created by Allah, that you will be كلا إن يومئذ كلا إنهم يومئذ كلا إنهم عن ربهم يومئذ لمحجوبون. They will be completely banned from God's mercy that time. That is hard. Get it? God's mercy stops. That's it. That's what you are left with.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if the creator of the universe doesn't give you, create something? Can you create anything? Can we create anything?
No.
I need something. I cannot do anything because it is not. For example, here is the water I'm drinking. So if the water is not created, what shall I do? Is there any way
I can create water
quench to satisfy my thirst? No. That is it. If someone denies God, okay, so all right, go. That's what the Quran keeps saying, that we will ask them, okay, ask your gods. Ask your nature. Nature provide you whatever you need. Go and ask. Who provided you, nature or the creator of the universe?
That's why it says, call your nature, whatever you call, whatever the deities that you is giving you.
Yeah. So that is why we have to understand the language of the Quran and accordingly treat it. Quran describes, or God always speaks as the creator of the results. Of the results. So, for example, no. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yeah. أَفَرَأَيْتُمْ مَا تَزْرَعُونَ. Don't you see what we have cultivated? Zra, made cultivations or farming. Yeah. Now, أَفَرَأَيْتُمْ مَا تَحْرُثُونَ, what we have calculated. أَأَنْتُمْ تَزْرَعُونَهُ أَمْ نَحْنُ الزَّارِعُونَ. Is it we that we are growing it, or are you growing it? It's very simple, isn't it? So the Quran talks about, it doesn't say you didn't cultivate. You didn't sow the seed. You did sow the seed. Yes, you did. Yeah. The result is created. But God says, who has created the plant out of it?
The result.
Yeah. God always talks about the result. When he says, I'm going to punish you, it means you will find yourself in a punished position.
The result will be a punishment.
Result will be created. Yeah. If I really, for example, hit this one hard,
The result is created.
Allah says, I am going to break your glass. Yeah, result will be created by it. Correct?
Correct, yeah.
That is what really, when I hit this one, it breaks. The act of breaking, and because of the gravity system, there's no gravity, but because of the order of the universe, it is broke. This order of the universe is created by God. I didn't break it, God broke it. That is the language of the Quran.
So pretty much it's just to ponder over consequence of our choices. So when we do something and then it's like, hey,
presents the consequence to us. How, if you do this, how you will end up with in the order of the creation as God planned. It just doesn't change. For example, if I open the window, my room will be cold. Why? Because this system, this order, is created by God in this way. God says, if you open the window, I will feel you frozen.
Yeah, the result will be,
The result. Yeah, that's what I am going to create. Because you asked for it. So that is what Quran says. What hell is, the hell is what you asked for.
So the consequence or the result of
paradise is my reward. Yeah, but I'm creating it. You cannot create it. Even you sow the seed, you cannot grow the plant. Can you?
so everybody wants paradise.
Sorry?
Everybody wants paradise.
Yeah. Oh, then I will not prevent, I will try not prevent from my creator and submit to him. But if I say, for example, I am going to hit you, but you will give me the food. It's contradictory. So I am going to be nice to you, appreciate and thankful to you, you will give me the food. But it works. That's how the food the nature of creation is all about. We shouldn't really, we should be careful while we are reading the Quran, how the Quran speaks from which perspective. So we shouldn't imitate the language of the Quran as if we are gods. No. We say, this is what God promises you that you will end up with. Because this is the order of God, how he creates. This needs, the presentation needs to change the presentation. In our presentation, Quran's language must be changed, that I am speaking now.
Quickly though, is it talking about here? Because you were saying when people would come to the prophet to confess something, but one-on-one they would confess to their Lord for that hereafter. But like here they would confess for worldly
punishment, that we punish only. So we are not the creators, so that we will say, okay, if you do this, I will create this. I cannot speak like this. I cannot speak like God. Do you understand? No.
That's why I said the presentation has to. So, go ahead.
Now the language, we have to be very careful. It is easy to read the Quran. It is very difficult to read really what the method it uses. It needs deep study, really. So, for example, what was it that I gave you the example?
So
Further.
the example.
What did I say, or what did you ask me again, please?
I'm so blank right now. What did I ask? I was asking about, oh yeah. Yeah, like there are two consequences. So people would come to the prophet and talk about their worldly penalty,
Yes.
as opposed to with God one-on-one, it's hereafter
Yeah.
sake. But like, so that's what I'm saying. What's the point? What is the message in the Quran? It's talking not about this worldly penalty. It's talking about
Is the
a
penalty worldly or
consequence.
No.
or
It's
the-
talking about
I remember. Actually. When God speaks in the Quran, He speaks as a creator.
Mm.
Yeah. But we cannot create. For example, if someone steals, we cannot create in this world. Administrators
Mhm.
cannot create the consequence of it, that this person will feel and experience in himself.
Oh.
That's what we do. We physically punish this thing. But when God speaks, that's why when I speak, I say, if you steal, I will put you in prison. Now, but that is what I do. That is punishment. But when God speaks in the Quran, if you steal, I won't give you this property anymore. You won't have it at all. But is there any punishment there? Extra punishment? No. Because you did something wrong, as a result, you are deprived of this thing. That's it. It means hell. Hell is the place of deprivation, if you like. It means no mercy of God is manifested in the hell because they denied God, they denied His mercy, they denied His grace, so they are not going to be given. They denied it.
Mhm.
Okay.
So on the flip side, paradise is the same thing. It's not something extra.
No.
Is it?
That is the
Okay.
difference. Paradise is not the same thing.
Okay.
Paradise says, if you attribute anything to me, God says, is speaking now, be careful here. God says, if you attribute anything to me, I will compensate with my absolute capacity. Infinite capacity.
Mhm.
That's why paradise is infinite, abadi.
Okay.
Why? Why? Because the reward is given by God. And when God gives according to His capacity.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
We need to understand this. Hang on a second. This part makes sense. What about the hell one?
Yeah.
It's
No, it is what we deserve.
what is happening right now? It's happening like the consequence
but-
right now.
No, created according to your step.
According to my standard.
Yeah, but it is created in the order of the creation universe right now. For example, if I really hurt myself for any reason, the pain is created. That's the order.
Mhm.
So in this world, what I do, because I didn't obey the order for any reason, then the result of happiness, healthiness is not given to me
Mhm.
because I didn't obey it. But there are some things beyond our choice, etc. These are different matters. But everything must be dealt within its own place. So we are talking about, although God says the punishment will be in the hereafter for them, the hell, but at the same time, hell is described as where we are
Deprived of.
banned, barred, punished, so deprived
Mhm.
from God's mercy.
Mercy.
Can you create anything? No.
That's happening right now, though.
In
The
our
pumping
feeling.
part, Yeah,
Yeah, in our feeling.
yeah.
That is happening right now, as far as God is concerned, or our relationship with God is concerned.
Mm.
But as far as the human administration is concerned, they give punishment.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. As far as God's
Nobody can
administration,
rectify that. Like the civilization, legal system cannot rectify what's going on between.
You
my
and
rela-
God.
Yeah, exactly.
well,
Like they'll punish me for the worldly thing.
so that depends on your belief.
Mm.
For example, secular society don't believe in God by definition. There are people who believe that's something about the secular administration. That's what they say. We have to punish you here in this world. God, there is no hereafter. Yeah, forget about it. Islam says, look, we have to punish you in this world in order to keep the peace and order in the society. That is our duty. But what is left, your relationship with God is left to God, not me. So I cannot create a hell for you, but I can only put you in prison or punish you in one way or another.
Mhm.
That is my duty. But Allah doesn't do it in this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
Yeah. What he does,
Yeah.
he already put the order how he creates.
Mm.
He warns us about the order. The order requires the consequence of our choices
Mm.
in bad and in good. For example, when you believe in God, you gain everything. Why? Everything is from Him. You understood. You are secure. Your existence is secure. Your life is secure. Everything is secure because you are under security of God.
Mm.
So what you see now, abundant, effulgent mercy coming to you through belief.
This effulgent mercy, you mean like peace,
Yeah,
tranquility?
yes, serenity.
In any case, any situation.
In case of pure belief.
What is pure belief?
Sorry,
What is pure belief?
what is?
What is pure belief? Pure belief.
Pure belief.
Pure.
P-U-R-E.
I said it's pure. I don't know. Not confuse anything. For example, I'm saying, what dirties the belief? My egoistic expectations overtakes
Yeah, because
all or some of God's property,
of course,
appropriates myself. That's what I'm doing.
but that's normal too. Like you
Yeah.
have some expectations and from the creator, and then okay.
Yeah, so
This is
I will deprive myself. God says, okay, as much as you submit yourself to me, you will get my abundance, my mercy, as I present you. If you prevent it, then, for example, here is the window and the sun is there. If I keep the window open, sunlight comes in.
Mhm.
If I just throw the window, what happens? I deprive myself of the whole sun.
Sunlight is there, but yeah, you close the window.
And the God says, if you draw the curtain, I will give no light to you. It's a threatening language. It means that's how order works.
That's the result.
That is my order. That is my that I'm presenting myself to you in this way.
Mm.
It is not puzzling. It is
It's
not
not, it's
difficult.
not
But
at all.
only thing is, we are not accustomed thinking in this way. It's very simple. Otherwise, it's very simple.
So the punishment is not extra. That's one thing.
Punishment is
No,
not
it's
extra.
it's not right.
Paradise is
Deserve.
extra.
Punishment is what you deserve. I understand that part,
Yeah.
but paradise is extra what you need. Paradise is extra, so that's this problem here.
More than what you deserve. For example,
More than what I deserve.
now, sun is out there.
Mm.
The curtain, I'm shouting in order to
Yeah.
keep the recording.
Inshallah.
Well, sun is out there,
Mm.
emitting the light.
Mm.
The curtain was drawn like this,
Mm.
right? You just throw the curtain back. What did you do? Just draw the curtain back, acknowledge the existence of the sunlight. Sun serves you. Did you create the sun? Did you create the light? Not at all. Just opened up to the sunlight.
Mhm.
Decided that I need it. That's it. If someone says, I need you, oh my God, in his behavior,
Mhm.
in his tongue,
Submission. Yeah.
then mercy comes. It means belief. Belief. So if you draw a little bit, you can get a little bit stuff. If you draw more, you can get more.
This is interesting. What you're saying. Okay, I get that part. Thank you. So you're saying by default
Mhm.
it's covered.
Yeah.
But then if I submit verbally and that, oh, I need help from you, it comes a little bit. So I need to do a little work.
That's right.
I need to do work.
According to level of iman represented here, according to level of the curtain is open.
Mm.
Also, we have to open the curtain. Why isn't it given like open so we can be? We have to do work.
If I want to draw the curtain, if God says, okay, you cannot draw the curtain, close it. Okay, let's use a simple language. You cannot close the window. So I will say, I'm going to recognize you, and still I will receive the sunlight. Is it just?
No. Pointless.
So if I harm somebody and still my conscience will make me happy, what does it mean? God is not really loving me. He's not teaching me. Unconditional love is not there.
Mm.
So we are here. The word is the word of training. Never forget.
Mm.
Preparing ourselves. For example, you are a teacher. Here the student, one of them, took simple example. One student comes, listens, takes note, and revise it, does his or her assignments. The other one sits in the canteen, chases the opposite gender. We see that.
Very common.
So consequence, both of them are learned, both of them are successful. Is it the point of education?
I wonder sometimes.
So you see, we are here to get ready for our permanent home. It's a temporary school period in our life. Listen. So we have to do our assignment. Simple.
Mm.
And the professor says, if you don't do your assignment, I will fail you. But in fact, not the professor is failing me. If I don't do my assignment, I already lost everything. Knowledge. I'm deprived of knowledge. That's automatic failure. Because of the system of the education, or because of education system.
Mm.
So simple. Because of education system is this. Can you imagine an education system? There is everyone will be equal at the end.
It's the American system.
Then it would be a just action. And it is against human nature to put the human beings in a school. You are absolutely free, whatever you want, but at the end, everybody will have the same quality of education.
Mm.
But this is not education.
It's an interesting point you mentioned about. We asked the more you acknowledge, I only need help from you. So with that, you have to do some work as well, some action. I think that's where,
Yeah, you have to do something, of course, not only theoretically saying, I
That's the
believe in
point.
God, but I want everything according to my.
so that there goes the expectation.
Sorry?
There goes the expectation. Hey God, I did this. Hello.
Uh-uh,
Isn't this what
no.
you wanted me to do?
But hoping from God's mercy is on me, of course. But last decision is in the hands of God. He decides. The order is established by Him, practiced by Him. Too much. Okay. There is something.
All right, there's a verse shared by Farha. Section 41, verse 47. Whoever does good does it for his own soul, and whoever does evil does it against his own soul.
Mhm.
Your Lord is never unjust to his creatures.
Yeah. There are many ayats actually. Now, this is what? 45?
41,
Verse
47.
47 and 45, I think it says, ومن أساء فعليها ومن عمل صالحا فلنفسه ومن أساء فعليها. Whoever does good work, it is for him.
Mhm.
Whoever does bad, ومن أساء سوء bad فعليها, it is against him.
Mhm.
That is your choice. You are deciding. Actually, in fact, in this world, we are deciding where we want to go. Paradise or
Hell.
hell. But result is created by God. So hell is complete.
Deprivation.
Deprivation.
Being barred from
Paradise
mercy.
is complete mercy.
Open. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Mhm.
they both are created by an absolute being.
MashaAllah.
Okay.
Fascinating. All right. Does anyone have any comments or anything before we move on to the next paragraph? We never read anything.
Okay. Let's read.
Anything from this side?
So the paradise is also like an extra reward, you're saying. Paradise is extra reward from your creator. Extra. Paradise is something extra given to you based on your.
Yeah.
based on
Yeah.
your homework.
Yeah. Don't forget this curtain, simple curtain
Yeah.
example. You open the curtain, sunlight came.
Mm,
Opening the curtain doesn't mean that you created the sunlight.
mm,
Simple, very simple. That's what it is. I put one seed in the soil, but the Quran says, did you create the plant or did we create it?
mm.
Mhm.
أنتم تزرعونه أم نحن الزارعون. It's very beautiful. Yeah.
So the point of anything is acknowledgement who's creating things.
Yeah. Acknowledgement, submission. Submission by action.
Mhm.
Submitting ourselves by action. And also language also is another action.
Mhm.
What do you mean submitting by action and
I
language?
mean,
Example.
in our practical life,
Mhm.
we have to choose to follow what God asked me to do. For example, God says, never ever follow your egoistic heva. Heva means what? Nothing.
Mhm.
Just baseless desire. For example, if I sit here and say that, now it is daylight here now. So if I say, if only it was night, or let there be night now. Heaven. It is not Allah's order.
Baseless, yeah.
It doesn't happen.
Mhm.
So Allah promised that if you don't wait until 5 or 5 hours later, there will be no light. That is my decision, accept it or not.
But within the order, there's also, if you want light, go to the west, for example, if you
Yeah,
want
go.
light, go to the west coast, so you follow the order.
Yeah, but if
Hmm.
follow the order again, exactly, obey the order.
Yeah.
That's why physical action.
Mhm,
That's why iman
mhm.
needs Islam. Teslimiya. It means submission. So if I say, I have a creator, but I don't care about him. Yeah, I believe in God, but what shall I do with it? I can do my job as I want.
Yeah, what should I do?
Yeah.
What should I do?
And then you will be left alone without God's mercy.
So yeah, I
But
believe in God.
acknowledgement needs to be followed by accordingly choice. Now, while I am doing something, I should be conscious that this is God's grace is going to, I will be rewarded now. If I say, I am doing it, you are left on your own. So if you say, God will create me, create whatever I want, God will create whatever I want for me, then you will feel that you are doing your job and you are not messing up with God's creation. Leaving it to him, whatever he decides, he will do it. And the result is from God.
Mm.
Yeah, I think the result point needs a little more hammering.
Always result is, I think so.
I think that, yeah.
Okay. We didn't.
Yeah, and I think somebody wants to speak also. Is there anybody wants to say anything? Farah, you had your hand up.
I mean, I think the topic is more or less quite clear. But just to add perhaps points that could, reiterate the same thing with a different perspective, is that when it comes to punishment or every action has a consequence, and we discussed this, like, there's no sort of middle ground. There's either a reward or there's a quote unquote punishment. So everything has a consequence, and we discussed it in the form of result. And what I find very helpful to understand is that this process always comes following the revelation or the messenger or an impetus that, okay, here's a proof, you accept or deny. And the acceptance confirms or attaches you with the speech of an infinite being. And in that sort of, let's say, decision that one takes, I believe this is true, that in many places in the Quranic verses, there'll be a sense of, like, the reward is like not measurable, or it cannot be measured, or does not have limits, because essentially you are confirming a message that whose speaker has infinite qualities. And so, you cannot put a limit or a number to it in the result that it produces, as opposed to the denying the message has a very quick, intense, and very measured response in the form of punishment. And it is directly, or is it completely just or appropriate and matched to the nature of the denial, so to say. So I also sort of see this interesting contrast, that reward is, you cannot put a limit or a measure to it, because it is coming, you are confirming the existence and the attributes of an infinite being. And so nothing in that direction could be dictated by your expectations. And I think it's also a beautiful feeling to know that something is going to be beyond my expectations, but fair, whatever that might be. As opposed to, and there's a sense of responsibility, like in the verse that I shared, that there's a sense of responsibility that my punishment will be exactly matching my actions, or whatever that I suffer or go through will exactly match my intentions, but will not be more than what I deserve in any way. So I think there's I find that a very comfortable reality to accept also, that my actions have a very measured on my mistakes, or let's say errors in judgment, and following my egotistical desires will have a very measured and just response to it. And I can't object. And that in itself is also, I think, a source of comfort.
So one thing I didn't understand is that the measurement for the hell is, we can measure that also, right?
No, we can't.
Yeah.
Mahruf, it is
Barred, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just being
example,
deprived of it. Yeah.
No, okay, you can keep it in this way. This very simple example, the curtain and the sunlight. Now, if the curtain is drawn, let's assume that.
Mhm.
If it is closed, if I open the curtain, what happens? Light comes in. But did I make any contribution to the existence of the sun?
No.
Nothing to do with it.
Mhm.
So, like the paradise,
Mhm.
we are not going to contribute anything to the construction of paradise. Mercy is already there. I say, I need your mercy, God. It will come and then. But the Quran describes, it's very interesting. Quran says, it's a very interesting verse. Let me remember the verse. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. No. Zumara. Allahu Akbar. What is the beginning of the verse? وَسِيقَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِلَى جَهَنَّمَ زُمَرًا. When the deniers are drawn, come on, go this way, directed to the Jahannam. Hatta idha ja'uha, when they come the Jahannam, or
Arrive there.
yeah,
Or reach there.
right. Futuhat abwabuha. Then it is, doors are open to them.
Mm.
The Jahannam door.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a symbolic teaching.
Didn't we say the people knock, knock, knock?
Yeah. They come there, the door is closed.
Yeah.
But what the denial does,
It opens.
okay, open it, I'm going to get in. All right, this is your choice. But وَسِيقَ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا رَبَّهُمْ إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ زُمَرًا. Groups of people, when they are directed to the paradise, وَإِذَا جَاءُوهَا, when they come to there, وَفُتِحَتْ أَبْوَابُهَا. Well, they will find that the doors are open. They don't have to knock. What does it mean? God's mercy is open. Just you draw the curtain, that's it. Sunlight automatically comes in. But if you draw the curtain back, it must close the window. Did you kill the sun? No, but you have no sunlight in your house. Because you closed it, and then you said, I don't want sunlight. That means I don't want sunlight. Okay. Then sunlight doesn't come. So we are not creating anything, but we are just choosing, and according to our choices, we will find the mercy present in our life, or we will close the door. Although the mercy is there, but I'm not getting it. That's very simple example, inshallah. Let's go
Inshallah.
to the text.
Inshallah. Thank you.
Oh.
My goodness. We have
Okay.
a few minutes. Bismillah.
Also,
Also, since whenever living creatures seek their natural wishes, which are beyond their power, through the tongues of their innate abilities and essential needs, which are beyond their power, through the tongues of their innate abilities. So we have abilities to seek them, and essential needs, which is supplication of a sort.
yeah. Opening the window is
Mhm.
my wish.
Is my wish.
Yeah. But can I create the sunlight? No. But this is what? Supplication. The opening the window is a supplication of a sort. I need sunlight. Please, sunlight, come into my room.
Mm.
Come into my room. It is supplication. But I'm not creating. That is the point. Okay.
Nothing to, yeah. All their needs are given to them by a most compassionate, hearing, kind, unseen hand. By a most compassionate, hearing, kind, unseen hand. And since 6 or 7 out of 10 of human supplications, which are voluntary supplications, especially those of the prophets and the elect, are accepted in a way contrary to the normal course of things. Contrary to the normal course of things.
It means extra, because they really get the mercy of, feel the mercy of God, really.
So
Not like me, a dim light is coming through the thin curtains, something like that. No, they draw it completely. It gives the example of, in another place, the same author gives the example of, I am living in a house, yeah, I have a window, light is there on another side. What I do, I put my glass, my mirror, and try to reflect the light to me. That is what I communicate with the sun.
okay.
No? But that is means by the way, communicating and supplicating to God, not directly.
Okay.
Now, what the example says, the prophets and those people who are really aware of God's presence in their life, their home looks like a house with no roof,
Wow.
no preventing anything.
No curtains.
Sorry?
No curtains, pretty much.
Yeah, no curtain.
That's nice.
As soon as sun is out there, directly inside
That's
there.
what I want to do.
Yeah, inshallah, don't put curtain. Don't put curtain. That is how all we are suffering from. Our egoistic desires. Why the things are not happening as I want. No, just a minute. You are not the boss of this universe. True, but it is easy to say. Well, practice, I know I fail. Okay.
So what were you saying about the not direct, like reflecting the qualities to the sun? That's
half-hearted believe and submit yourself to it.
okay.
Yeah, not, for example, if something happens to me that I don't want it to happen, I say, why is it happening? Just a minute, it is created by the Creator. Take lesson from it. What are you doing? So see what you have asked God to create you, it is the result. Because if you say, I am going to gain it, okay, go and gain it. God says, all right, I don't mind if you can get it, but we cannot create.
Okay.
So sowing the seed is a supplication, nothing more. Sowing the seed does not contribute anything to the process of growth
Suhan, yeah,
of the plant.
it's true.
It is a completely different event.
Yeah.
Sowing seed is the seed.
That's why we say it's extra if it's given. That's why
Yeah,
we say
yeah.
if it's extra.
So
Otherwise,
you-
you don't need it, pretty much. If it's given, okay, good for you. Otherwise, you don't need it. Just sow the seed.
So when I put a created, let's say corn seed
Mhm.
in the soil, snows, rains, and the plant grows, right? Did I create the seed? No. Did I create the climate? No. Did I create the growth of the plant? No. What did I do? Just obeyed the order, submitted order of God, submitted myself to Him. The result is taken care of by Him. But if I say, everything is created by God, but I'm going to grow my corn as I want. For example, you are supposed to, I don't know the season, but you are supposed to plant the corn before winter, for example, just before winter, during the fall. But you say, no, I want to do it in spring. Okay, do it, and you will see what will happen, according to you. That is what we are treated in this way, or how we are treated in this way. Whether submit ourselves to God or not. That's so simple.
Well, what was this example you were giving about the mirror?
Mirror
Somebody
means
takes the mirror.
I am going to receive the sun. Sun is not going to come to me directly. It means as a result of
My
my choice, my
yeah.
effort.
That's wrong. That's
Yeah,
not correct.
yeah.
That mirror.
Yeah, but we have to submit to God directly.
But it's that.
Always be conscious of it.
Okay, but it's not that bad though. Okay.
Which
anyways,
one?
let me think. The putting.
The
The mirror.
mirror.
But it
But
is
that
it
is you're
is better.
acknowledging the sun.
It
acknowledging
is
the sun, and it's helping you.
better. It is better than not receiving the light at all.
Half-hearted.
But yeah, half-heartedly, saying I believe in God, I pray. This is my
But the mirror
mirror.
is giving me the light.
But
The mirror.
I am going to get the light as I want, from the perspective, from the angle I want.
The grain of egoistic.
Sorry.
Grain of egoism. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I mean partial
Partial. Yeah.
egoism.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I find myself in this position always. I thought, I know everything is created by God. Yeah, sure. Okay, I cannot create, sure. But when it comes to something, it must happen as I want.
That's usually the case.
That's human weakness.
All right. Alhamdulillah. So continuing on.
Yes, please.
It is understood certainly that behind the veil of the unseen is one who listens and hears the sighs of the suffering and prayers of the needy and replies to them. He sees the least need of the smallest living being and compassionately replying by action, thereby result gratifies that need. There is no possibility of doubting, therefore, that the one who includes in his supplication all the most important general supplications of man, the most important of creatures. There is no possibility of doubting, therefore, that the one who includes in his supplication all the most important general supplications of man, the most important of creatures, which are connected with all the divine names and attributes and are for immortality, and takes behind him all the other prophets, who are the suns, stars, and leaders of mankind, making them exclaim, Amen. Amen. Amin. Amin. So there is no possibility of doubting, therefore, that the one who includes in his supplication all the most important general supplications of man, who is the most important of creatures, which are connected with all the divine names and attributes, and are for immortality. So not liking transience, which are looking for
I think it's
a
referring to the
continuation.
prophet, peace and blessing be upon him.
How so?
How so? Oh, he's talking about it here. He's saying, hey, there's no positive down there that the one who includes I don't like the one who uses his capacity to the fullest, including all of humanity in this supplication, as in taking the whole human condition, which encompasses the other prophets, who are the stone stars and leaders of mankind, making themselves exclaim, Amen, Amen, and for whom benedictions are recited several times every day. And to the supplication, all the members of the committee will join Amen.
Did I read that?
Where were you? Oh, am I reading the wrong stuff? Sorry, my bad.
It's okay. No, we are on second paragraph of page
I
232.
think we have to think of it in terms of physical examples. For example, if I want to have the most of my corn seed,
Mhm.
to get the most of it, what I must do, I must look at the farmers
Exactly.
who is more
Experts.
successful
Yes.
in corn farming.
Mhm.
This man, I go there,
Yeah.
learn from him, follow his instructions, and do it. That's what following the prophet means.
Very nice.
Yeah. So, what another example? For example, you are going to apply for a job,
Uh-huh.
and it's, trying to prepare your resume.
Mhm.
You heard that a friend presented the resume in the same field in such a way that as soon as the employer
So
got the resume, called him and employed him.
Mhm.
You say, let me go to this guy and ask him, how did he do that? So it means in this world, we have to use as
Prophets.
our leaders or examples, those who are successful
Mhm.
in their relationship with God.
Mhm.
Because even if I want it, I don't know how to establish this relationship. So I have to see how the prophets are doing, how those people are successful in their prayers, supplications,
Mhm.
and just learn from them.
Mhm.
We have to be modest enough if we are not the ones who are really knowledgeable of it.
Okay.
For example, for me, I have to, for example, use the prayers of the prophet, try to supplications of the prophet, try to understand them and follow his pattern.
Mhm.
This is a kind of
Take that as the
what is
as my model
happens.
example,
Yeah,
the best example,
not
the expert best example
Yeah.
of.
yeah. So, and of course, for example, those people who say that my PhD director or advisor
Mhm.
was such and such very famous man in the field.
Mhm.
So they say I'm very successful. My advisor was this man. This man. Oh, really? Did you really study with him? But if I go and study with a limited knowledgeable person and he is my advisor,
Yeah.
well, I can benefit from him as much as his capacity.
Mhm. Yeah.
So what is what we have to look for the best example for us? Who were the successful ones? God says, Anbiya, Shuhada, Salihin,
Mhm.
Muttaqin, etc., etc. So we have to follow these patterns of life. Yeah, for example, do any deed that you are doing without confusing your personal expectations, being conscious that the result is completely created by God. I have no right to claim any part in it. You know, yeah, I was successful, but I really tried hard. No, that's what I have to try, but there is to create the result, I have nothing.
Mhm.
Acknowledge it. Fundamental.
Mhm. Yeah, thinking.
Just wanted to clarify the extra reward thing. Like it's not needed.
Which one?
You know, earlier when we said paradise is something extra that's given,
Yeah.
meaning it's not needed.
What
But
do you
What
mean?
do you mean it's not needed?
No, I need it, but an extra means as compared to your effort.
Mm.
Your effort is nothing. Remember the curtain. You just drew the curtain, opened it, opened the window. That's it.
So
Not
it's
much.
not extra reward. I didn't even do anything. I just opened it and that's it. So why?
Yeah.
would you say
That's
extra
what we are doing in
Yeah,
this
this
world.
is-
We are not doing really. That's supplicating.
Everything we do is supplication.
No, we are not creating anything.
No, like-
Just acknowledging it, acknowledging it,
Nothing
not
is given.
denying it.
Okay, so nothing is given like extra. Here we go. It's
Now,
nothing like
extra
that.
means as compared to my opening the window,
Not opening, just leaving the window as compared to not leaving it. I'm opening it. As compared to leaving it, like the.
and now don't close it.
Mm.
That's it, it comes.
Mm.
It means if we follow our, it uses nature itself, the human,
Natural wishes.
he used the word here, and their innate
Innate.
ability.
Innate abilities.
Our innate ability acknowledges the creator.
Mhm.
When we know that we cannot create anything, even I may claim, I know that I cannot give existence to anything. Even if I was an atheist, I would still know that I'm not creating anything. That's why even the atheists say nature is giving us. Okay, what is nature? The universe itself. What is universe? The nature. Tautology.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. Sorry for. I think we should wrap it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
So let's finish the
Yeah.
paragraph at least.
And for whom benedictions are recited several times every day, and to whose supplication all the members of his community rejoin. Amen. Amen. Indeed, in whose supplication all creatures take part, saying, Yes, O Lord, do give what he asks. We too want what he seeks of all the
What he
causes.
seeks.
Mhm.
Yeah. Whatever he seeks, I want to.
Whatever he's seeking.
What's he seeking?
Paradise, yeah, I want that too.
It's the presence of God.
Mm.
Submission to God. I mean, submission means what? Don't play a false game as if you are doing something.
Mm.
Admit that everything is created for you. Be honest. That's it. Be honest to yourself. Don't cheat yourself.
Uh-huh.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh,
And we say in our discussions, what we say always,
Oh, I see what's going on.
yeah, we say belief is not contradicting to your innate ability,
abilities.
to yourself,
Mhm.
to your reality. That's it.
I see what's going on now. So we have to do effort to get hell, but paradise, nothing. You don't even have to do anything. It's right there. Pretty much. You're
Yeah.
just opening.
Hell is you have to blow it and said, I don't want it.
So-
Okay.
Yeah.
You request to open the door.
Yeah.
One would do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
It means just act according to my nature, my reality, what my reality tells me.
Mm.
No, my reality tells me, even the atheist people's reality tells them that they cannot create anything. They cannot control anything,
Yeah.
but they just learn how it is created.
Yeah.
But they don't say it is created. It happens by itself. That is their mistake to interpret in this way. But we know that they are just studying how the machine is working.
Mm.
But of course, machine doesn't work itself, but they say falsely, doesn't make sense. Machine is working by itself.
Yeah.
No, it is designed and made in this way to work in this way by a human being. But for God, there is no by, direct by. As far as the creation is concerned.
Mhm.
Machine is not a creation. It is just really recombination of the elements of the order
Yeah.
created by God.
But existence-wise, it's a
Yes,
creation. Yeah.
existence belongs to the creator.
So do give what he asks, we too want what he seeks. Of all the causes necessitating resurrection under these irresistible conditions, only a single supplication of Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, for immortality in the hereafter and eternal happiness would have been sufficient reason for the existence of paradise. Only a single supplication of Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, for immortality in the hereafter and eternal happiness would have been sufficient reason for the existence of paradise and creation of the hereafter.
Because Muhammad's supplication represents the truth presented to us by God.
Mm.
So he is practicing the supplication as he learned through revelation. That's why his supplication represents God's guidance.
Mhm.
That is why it is enough reason. He obeyed it. He obeyed it. He realized the truth. He practiced it and put it into practice. That's why his prayer is accepted, because his prayer is in fact what God meant
Mhm.
to happen when he created the universe, to give result into this paradise.
I don't understand. His prayer was what God wanted
Yeah,
to be.
but he taught him. God taught the
Taught
prophet.
the prayer as well.
Yeah, it means all his actions are presented or practiced according to God's instruction. So that is what God really meant by creating this universe.
So all his supplications were
Yeah. So if you can take share from it,
including any other
but
action.
you can take your share from it as much as you are from the teachings of the Quran, from the teachings of the Prophet. Take it as an example for you.
Mhm.
We can do it. But as we take a share in his supplication, in his supplication, what we are doing, just we are joining his supplication. We are not doing anything extra.
Oh, we're joining that supplication.
Yeah, that is submission to the message.
So all our supplications are actually joining this.
Yeah, we cannot extend it. We are just joining.
That's powerful.
It seems like you always have to be in supplication, but you don't have time to be in supplication.
I don't have time
To be in supplication all the time.
to be.
In supplication.
You don't have time in supplication.
To be in supplication.
To be in supplication.
Look at the civilization. We're so busy.
Oh, that is external factor. Be yourself. Who cares external factors? So it is just an excuse, blaming others. No. Who cares? Why do you see? Look at the word. Why don't you see the Quranic teaching? Yeah.
Mhm.
So we are busy with this word, not busy with the Quran. So we don't get it.
Mhm.
So what keeps us busy will really direct us. That's obvious. Yeah, it was a little joke. Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Okay, alhamdulillah.
Let's go and finish because
Yeah.
really, yeah.
Creation of paradise and creation of hereafter, which are as easy for divine power as the creation of springs. Stating this, the names of answerer of prayer.
Hmm.
Answerer of prayer, all hearing and all compassionate, answer our question.
Yeah, that is how God is all hearing,
Mhm.
all compassionate.
All those
and
supplications
the answerer
of those
prayers.
supplications. Yeah.
Answerer of prayers. So
Alhamdulillah.
what we do now, we are really supplicating to God's qualities.
Yeah.
Of course, it needs a bit consciousness. You know, what does it mean for mujibat? Is it really
Mm.
mujibat da'awat or answerer of prayers? Yes.
That's the name, Mujibat Dawah.
Yeah. All hearing, of course, you know the Sami, As-Sami, and or Ar-Rahim.
Mhm.
It means we have to see it. The creator of this universe must be all compassionate. The creator of universe must hear us
Mm.
because he's our creator. He's the creator of my ear.
Mhm.
He is the creator of my power of hearing. So how can I imagine a creator who created my power of hearing and he doesn't hear?
And
So every creature
created me with
is
the need.
witnessing.
Yeah. Every creature is telling me I have this need of
Yeah. So we have to present our need
needs,
to him,
yeah.
but knowing that he is the source of,
answering the one who can
also
answer.
he is the source of our needs.
Mhm. Source of our needs.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah.
He gave us this need in order to say, yeah, use this, utilize it in order to come to me.
It's the connection to come
Yeah.
to-
So he creates the illness, he creates the healing.
yeah, both are
He creates life, he creates death.
death.
Both. Okay.
Good.
Bismillah.
All right, thank you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanakallah ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Al-Fatiha. Thank you everyone for staying along, tagging along. Alhamdulillah.